with it over. Music and booms. All right, go ready.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 2. Tonight's game 2 features the Chandler Huskies versus the Cactus Shadows Falcons.
Say the year. I use the year. You have to miss it.
Let's introduce both teams. Starting off with the Chandler Huskies. A freshman attacker, number 2, Cariana Heljung. A junior attacker, number 3, Lily Georgie. A sophomore defenseman, number 5, Nani Corrente. A senior defender, number 7, Megan Zhu. A junior midfielder, number 12, Maya Doyle. A freshman defender, number 14, Caitlin Dilworth. A freshman attacker, number 15, Courtney Dilworth. A junior attacker, number 16, Lily Quidday. A freshman attacker, number 17, Kenzie Emery. A junior defenseman, number 18, Copa Samson. A freshman attacker, number 19, Chloe Eller. A sophomore attacker, number 20, Riley Juarez. A sophomore defender, number 23, Elise Service. A sophomore midfielder, number 24, Nora Whittington. A senior midfielder, number 31, Victoria Chen. And a senior defender, number 55, Maddie Hansen. In the goal, a junior, number 11, Essie Keys O'Sullivan. The head coach of the Chandler Huskies is Ellie King. The assistant coach is Kylie Backus. And now for the Cactus Shadows Falcons. A freshman defender, number 2, Ella Runcie. A junior midfielder, number 8, Sylvia Harding. A senior midfielder, number 9, Reagan Wolfden. A senior attacker, number 15, Kenzie Coleman. A junior defender, number 21, Kira James. A junior defender, number 22, Riley Stubstead. A junior attacker, junior defender, number 23, Abigail Scott. A junior attacker, number 24, Ella Williams. A freshman defender, number 27, Morgan Long. A junior defender, number 28, Gia Ramakrishnan. A junior defender, number 30, Samantha Hahn. A sophomore attacker, number 32, Reagan White. Freshman attacker number 33, Leah Williams. A junior midfielder number 53, Reese Spencer. A freshman defender number 83, Liv Kelly. A junior defender number 88, Annika Frigard. And a sophomore attacker number 95, Abigail Wong. In the goal, a junior number 25, Olivia Lewis. And also in goal, a freshman number 34, Adeline Frigard. The head coach of Cactus Shadows is Gary Neff. The assistant coaches are Kendra Frigard and Nick Wolftonen. Fans, at this time, to honor America, we ask that you please rise and please remove your hats to honor our flag and our country in the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
Ready?
Okay, fans, it's time.
Welcome back to South Mountain Sports, or welcome if you're just tuning in. Xavier holding off Higley in that last matchup. Now we have the 3 seed versus the 6 seed, the Cactus Shadows Falcons taking on the 2-time defending state champions Chandler Huskies. I'm Jacob Doty, alongside me are Kai, Jenna Gobus, and Campbell Klein. And guys, we had a really great game in the first one, and we should have another one in this game. Cactus Shadows and Chandler, what do you guys think we're going to see from these two teams here today?
Chandler's one of those squads that we've seen for multiple years now where they really like to take things slow early on. If they realize that the tempo doesn't shift in their favor, they're going to go play a little bit more aggressive lacrosse. They're a team that really likes to try to build out from behind X. They're a team, too, that likes to facilitate themselves early if they can. And when they don't, they're going to show you who they are later on, and it's always a good matchup between them. Cactus Shadows, of course, the better regular season record. One of the first times we've kind of seen that compared to what Chandler is hosting right now. But the pace of play for both these teams is something to be rivaled with, and I'm sure we're in for a good one. The 6th seed is a little bit less reflective on how the Huskies play, so that'll be something I'm sure we'll see here tonight.
Yeah, the Huskies played a very tough schedule all year, so they might have a losing record, but they played a lot of good competition, including Cactus Shadows, who they barely lost to on their senior night. Cactus Shadows had to rally to win that one at Chandler. We'll see what happens in the rematch here in the playoffs.
Definitely seeing some nice patience here from Chandler's offense as they pass the ball around. Not too much of a big deal on that missed feed there because they're able to back it up really nicely.
A little interesting too, Cactus Shadows rocking the all whites compared to, Chandler rocking the all blacks. Feels like it's a little bit of a switch up from, the usual matchups, but the kits are the kits for tonight.
And that pass is stolen. And now
Seeing a push there in the midfield as Cactus Shadows retains possession, not missing a beat off of that push, able to pick up and continue playing on rather than wait for that whistle.
So Cactus Shadows with the ball, they get it to Ella Williams. The player to watch out for Cactus Shadows is Reese Spencer, the junior midfielder. She scored 58 goals on the year, by far the most on the Cactus Shadows team. So look for them to get the ball to her a whole lot tonight.
Not just on the Cactus Shadows team, in all of the AGLA. She has the most goals scored in Arizona, and she is always going to be a threat to be reckoned with.
Definitely in contrast to the previous game, seeing these transitions really uncontested, not seeing quite the same level of physicality that we saw between the Knights and the Gators this past round.
And again, Chandler's record in the regular season, not up to typical standards, but again, the postseason is really where this team has shined in the latter years.
Yeah, definitely not as strong of a season as they had during their championship seasons the last 2 years where they were ranked number 1 going into it, but this is still a strong team, a team that can cause some problems. Just the results just haven't gone their way against teams like Cactus Shadows, but they get one here. Mia Doyle gets the goal, and the Huskies have the early lead. 1-0 in favor of Chandler.
Really nice opportunity there, pretty much uncontested in the middle as they see that opportunity, are able to feed it in and get a really nice, clean, well-placed shot off of it. Cactus Shadows is going to have to continue to keep their head on a swivel and make sure that nobody is getting around them in the 8-meter, as I'm sure Chandler will continue this pace of being really patient and thoughtful in the opportunities that they select.
So it is the Chandler Huskies who take the early lead. They had the lead against Cactus Shadows the last time these teams met just a few weeks ago, but Cactus Shadows was able to come from behind for the win.
And again, this Huskies team plays a different type of ball when it comes to the postseason. Again, a younger squad too, with some of their other typical players graduating within the last 2 years. I mean, roughly about 4 to 5 plus freshmen overall on the roster. So a couple of newer faces when it comes to playoff play, but nonetheless, the Huskies get out to an early lead.
Yeah, and you're certainly seeing a team that has that experience in the postseason. They're not going to face as much of a postseason jitter as you might see typically, because a lot of their players have seen it before or have cheered this own team on as they've seen them compete in the postseason.
So Cactus Shadows on offense, trailing early. It's Reese Spencer, the leading goal scorer in the AGLA, with the ball, trying to get another one, but a good stick by Chandler. Cactus Shadows able to keep it though.
If I'm Chandler, the main point I'm trying to make is that Spencer shouldn't get the ball.
And Abigail Willem sends one through the 5-hole of Izzy Keys O'Sullivan. Her 30th
Number
of the
95,
season.
Abigail
And Willem has tied this game at 1.
Definitely seeing some good body ball awareness from Cactus Shadows so far in the game. Every time that we've seen one of the Huskies overcorrect a little bit on defense, they've been able to roll over and capitalize on it, on that shift of momentum from their defender's body, giving them that really nice opportunity to cage.
The one big thing you're going to notice too is the characteristics for this team vary a lot. Again, Chandler, a team too that really likes to play kind of a similar brand of football that Xavier typically tries to push out, and that's just play loose. Let the kids have fun. Let everybody just enjoy the moment of the postseason play.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna have a stoppage. Not entirely sure what's going on.
Looks like we're having some issues with the clock here. It keeps going dark. They're not necessarily sure exactly how much time was on there, if they missed any, but it seems like they've been able to sort through it in the past minute or so.
Yeah, clock is back on. The team names were off the board for a minute there. You could still see the scores, but you couldn't see the team names, but that has been resolved and play resumes. Cactus Shadows with the ball, having just scored.
It's the big thing too you're going to see tonight when it comes to the draw circle. The Cactus Shadow squad, 2 players with a 46+ win percentage when it comes to the draw, and as for Chandler, 2 players with a 40+, 1 player in the 50s too, and that is Mia Doyle.
So the Falcons working the ball around the fan, trying to get it into the 8 meter, but will ultimately have to take it back to the outside. Now a pass towards the 8 meter that's taken away. The ground ball will be taken back by Cactus Shadows. So a good job by the Falcons to keep the pressure up. And right when it looked like they had turned it over, they get it right back.
Chandler's definitely going to have to maintain their awareness of where their stick is as they pick up these ground balls. We're seeing hustle from both teams to them, but as Chandler's gone to scoop up some of these balls, Cactus Shadows has capitalized on the fact that their stick is vulnerable to their checks.
Shadows, this is a big thing they thrive at. Just trying to build up and wait for their cutters, and that's really worked for them all season long, but Chandler's a team that does really well to combat most of that. Like they do so there.
Able to get a good check there, but the Falcons again able to keep the ball. And a chance right out there in front of the net, but a good save by Izzy Keys O'Sullivan. And then it ended up in the goal. I don't think it's going to count though. There's a foul before.
Looks like as she was trying to get that clear out, she was checked inside of the crease, causing that ball to bounce back into the net. Definitely makes your heart skip a beat if you're the keeper at that point, but definitely nice to be protected by that crease.
Good movement on the inside field.
Chandler running up the near side with it. It's Quarantine. Now in behind, Jellum with it. Into the crease, but over the stick. And we'll have a ground ball here. 3 Huskies and 2 Falcons, and now more people coming. It's picked up by Chandler. They'll keep the possession alive.
Chandler able to keep it. Hard fought ground ball, especially too when it's right in front of the restraining line.
Midway through the first quarter, 1-1. Chandler looking to go back in front. And there's a shot and a nice save by Olivia Lewis, the goaltender who's committed to play at Kent State.
And there's a reason, folks, that she's going to wind up going D1. 100+ saves all the season, a 52% save percentage, higher than the goalkeeper, too, for the Huskies. That's Izzy Keys O'Sullivan. She's got 94 saves on the year with a 49% save percentage. Both goalkeepers fantastic when it comes to playing inside the sticks.
Both save percentages definitely over what you normally see on average from goalies, typically looking at a 33%, so definitely seeing success between the pipes here.
And Chandler has their lead back. Kariana Jellum scores the goal. She had 17 of them during the regular season.
Goal!
And the Huskies, for the second time tonight, have the lead. It's 2-1.
Goal line number 2, Kariana Jellum.
Yeah, and that's just a great goal there. Again, you mentioned 17th of the year. She's another top playmaker for this squad with 12 assists. She is always going to find a way, and she found that right now. So again, the Huskies moving up 2-1. Within the final 5 minutes, 2 of the first.
Huskies showing that championship experience. A 2-1 lead. They had to win the final game of the season just to make it into the playoffs. But they are here and they are showing up in this first quarter. And they win the draw right there. Lily Durkee running towards the fan. They'll slow things down. It's with Whittington.
And that's exactly what you're going to see from the Huskies. A team, too, trying to battle, especially after the rough regular season they had compared to the last few. But again, they're really going to try to show up and show out every single time they get a chance to.
Chandler picks up the ground ball to keep the possession alive, and then the clock went out again for a moment. But they quickly get...
Not quite able to hold on to the ball there as it gets bobbled around in the 8. Chandler's able to come back up with it after the scramble. Definitely wanting to get that ball back there on their offensive end. Looks like we're going to have an errant pass, and the Cactus Shadows are going to be able to pick that ball up and begin that transition onto their offensive end.
That's a better pass. Lily Quende is right in front of the goal, one-on-one with Lewis.
And you got to think, too, Cactus Shadows taking a sigh of relief after that one. That would have been an easy one-on-one matchup there for Chandler to try to make this a 3-1 ball game.
So it's with Lewis. Some aggressive play by Chandler, trying to get a turnover in their offensive zone. But Cactus Shadows does a nice job to get out of that. And now here they come, off the stick, ground ball towards the net, scooped up by Keys O'Sullivan.
Was a good...
I was going to say, I love seeing that quick ball movement as they come through the midfield. Would like to continue to see some more spacing to prevent some of that bobbling and difficulty in passes. When you've got to pass a ball straight up to someone running away from you, it is certainly a tough pass to make.
Great fast break movement there by Cactus Shadows.
Here's Chandler looking for a third, and a save by Lewis.
Good defense there too by Shadows, just keeping the sticks high, trying to make sure that it falls.
No, but a turnover. Here's Kenzie Amori with a chance. Score! Kenzie Amori right off the turnover.
Goal!
Got one-on-one with Lewis and put it past her, and the Huskies with a 3-1 lead.
Kenzie Amori.
The freshman with the goal for the Huskies.
Yeah, that was just a huge capitalization right there, just being able to grab the turnover and less than an ideal spot there for Cactus Shadows, but the Huskies made the most of it, go up 3-1. Now we'll see what else is in the cards for the Huskies and for Cactus Shadows within the final 3 minutes of the first quarter to play.
So 2:38 remaining in the first, and it's the Huskies who have established things in the opening period. 3-1 lead for the number 6 seed, playing very close to home, just about an 8-minute drive from where they play their home games. Cactus Shadows, on the other hand, way up in the northern part of the Phoenix area.
It's a lovely night here too in Chandler, Arizona. A little bit of a later start time due to the first game of this postseason, but still a thriller nonetheless.
Yeah, we can only hope to have as good of a game as we had in the first one between Xavier and Higley.
Chandler really taking their time to pass it around on their offensive end without moving their feet, really giving Cactus Shadows the opportunity to jump that pass, and they definitely create some chaos there despite Chandler being able to get that ball back.
Down to a minute 40, Chandler looking to go up by 3. They will slow their offense down, looking for something to open up, taking it inside the 8-meter, trying to bounce that one. It went just wide. A ground ball in the air.
Looks like we're going to have a check inside the sphere, so she's they're going to be able to get that ball on their defensive end and continue this transition onto their offense.
One or two of Cactus going to eat up this last minute, try to make something happen with it.
1 minute to play in the quarter.
Errant pass there and another turnover. Here come the Huskies. Up the far side, it's service. 50 seconds to go in the quarter. So Chandler see if they can take advantage of that turnover.
Right now, you definitely want to maintain this possession as the clock runs down, using those last 20 or so seconds to actually initiate your play so that you can be the one that has that final say in the quarter.
But they got a chance there, and they score! Don't need to wait till 20 seconds when you get a chance. Right there. And the Chandler Huskies, the two-time defending state champions, taking a 3-goal lead in the first quarter. Nora Whittington, their leading goal scorer and leading the team in assists as well, makes her impact and gives Chandler a 3-goal lead.
Well, the Huskies certainly making themselves known. And right now, Cactus Shadows trying to battle out of a deficit that the Huskies were able to do against them not too long ago. So we'll see what winds up happening. Still a lot of game time left, and I would be shocked to say that Shadows is already out of it.
Chandler the 6 seed, Cactus Shadows the 3 seed. But like we've been mentioning, the Huskies have won the last 2 state championships, so a very strong 6 seed.
And if they continue winning these draws right here, they're going to have possession, and whoever has possession can score. So that's going to make a huge difference in this game, and certainly has had an effect on the score already.
They might get another one. A great save by Lewis. Point blank, she got the stick up there to keep it out and prevent another goal for Chandler. But it is the Huskies who lead by 3 after the first quarter. And that was really a dominating quarter by Chandler. But that will do it for us for now. We'll be back with the second quarter here on South Mountain.
As we begin the second quarter of play, once ago, the score is Chandler 4 and Cactus Shadows 1.
Hello everybody and welcome back to more postseason lacrosse action. The first game was a thriller. The second one's already off to B1. Chandler, the Huskies, currently lead 4-1 over Cactus Shadows, a team too that we've been saying all night long. A back-to-back state champion, possibly looking for the three-peat if it's possible. A very highly ranked 6th seed and a very young squad, but Cactus Shadows will start this thing off by winning the draw, trying to move back into Husky territory. This one will roll out, and Chandler will get it right back.
We've seen this matchup earlier, just a few weeks ago. Cactus Shadows played the comeback game in that one as well. They came from behind and got the win. They're going to have to do it again.
And it's never impossible. Of course, too, Xavier Prep Higley played before this, winner of that being Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier held off a Higley comeback attempt. Xavier was up the whole game. Higley got within one, but Xavier held him off.
Chandler doing a good job passing here. Rotating well behind the back end of the net. Now rotating towards the top of the 8-meter. Little spin move. Fires. Went a little wide. Almost went in between the uprights, but not that high above the bar.
Definitely a good move for this Cactus Shadows defense to get their hands on the Chandler players' hands as they go to take that shot, causing it to ricochet high.
Chandler will still hold on to possession. We'll see what the Wolves are capable of. And 10:40 left to go here in the second quarter, and the first half as a whole. Chandler trying to play a little bit patient with it, trying to look for some cutters inside. Nice little spin move. Open shot goes just wide. Chandler will chase it down, though, as it rolls out of bounds. And that'll be awarded right back to the Huskies.
It'd be huge if the Huskies can get a 5th goal here.
And I believe the winner of this will go play Chaparral, an 11-2 squad in the regular season. Highly ranked as the 2nd seed, of course, just being behind Desert Vista, the only undefeated team in Arizona.
Really nice pick-off there by the keeper. As Chandler was a little bit messy with their passes, she was able to track it and get a nice interception.
Cactus Shadows moving back up with it. They have the numbers here as they pass the restraining line. Looks like we'll have a check, so awarded right back to the Huskies, or apologies, to the Falcons.
It was kind of a foul that Chandler needed to make there to stop Cactus Shadows from having numbers.
Here's a good pass on the inside, trying to whip it overhand, but poked away. Good defense by the Huskies. Ground ball recovered, however, by the Falcons. Trying to get some good movement inside. Of course, Cactus playing a little bit too far up from the fan. Handling it was number 53, Reese Spencer. And that'll be a big game changer, I'm sure, later on in the night or even this quarter. Again, Reese knocking on the door. 60 total goals on the season, regular and post. Little flip back, and goalkeeper for Chandler will handle it. There's a 4-on-3 opportunity if the Huskies can grab the ground ball, which they wound up doing after a little bit of a minute. Opportunity to Shadows. Nobody really in their positioning. There's a good cut on the inside. Went top left bin. Got it to go. The Huskies.
Goal.
Able to land it.
Chandler.
What a great job again catching Shadows off foot when it came to the numbers side of things, and nobody on the inside crease, and the Huskies making the most of it.
Goal by
What a start for Chandler, and the second for Coriana Jellum, the first player on either side tonight to score 2 in this game. And Chandler couldn't have asked for a better start for the Huskies, up 5-1, but we saw Xavier get off to a similar start in the last game, and they were barely able to hold on, so far from over.
Yeah, 8:23 left to go here in the second. Chandler up by 4. Total goals for them is 5 to Shadows 1. But again, Shadows, a feisty team, refusing to go down. Draws up. Huskies trying to walk away with it. Ground ball picked up, however, by Shadows, so they win the draw. The Falcons trying to move on the inside. Following the draw victory, sided through and goes just a little wide.
Definitely not seeing any hesitation there as Cactus Shadows tries to move through into the 8-meter, drawing that penalty, a yellow card for a slash. Seeing that stick go all the way from up high to all the way down low, hitting the ground, is not what we want to see from a check. We'd much rather see that nice, quick, fluid motion where we come right in to check the stick and come back out.
So a free positioning shot now on the way for Cactus Shadows. One of the top players, too, for Chandler. We'll take a 2-minute break, and that is Mia Doyle. Here's the opportunity. Shot! And scoop! Oh, my goodness! What a save and an even better pass. What a sequence of plays there from Keeza Sullivan.
Really good opportunity to look from where that shot came from, especially on a free position, because you're going to have a defender who is behind, which, in your case, if you make the save, as you pass it over the top, she will be ahead moving into the fast break.
Of course, and just a great eye for the game right there from Sullivan. So now the Huskies back over into the opposition's restraining line. Again, Mia Doyle still taking that 2-minute break following the yellow card. Again, the top player really for this Husky squad on paper. Gotta wonder if they're trying to kill time a little bit till they have their real star talent get back out there.
I certainly would kill the time at least to make sure that you're even, because if Cactus Shadows is able to get this ball back on their defensive end, they've got a man-up opportunity coming onto their offense. So even if you have the opportunity, I mean, unless it's wide open to absolutely score, you want to make sure that you're killing this penalty a little bit so you can at least be at full strength just in case something happens.
Couldn't agree more, and we'll see if the Huskies possibly try to get a little aggressive here, especially with that 2 minutes now starting to really wind down. But good defensive play so far from Shadows. The aggressiveness is certainly there.
Looks like we stepped out of bounds there for Chandler. Really tough when you get sucked into a corner like that. There's not a lot of space to move, so it makes it even harder to get that ball out, and you do typically end up stepping out of bounds.
And what a great read there on defense. I believe that was number 24 for Chandler, and that was Nora Whittington, who did a good job just coming all the way across the field to poke that one away. But Cactus Shadows back at it now. Mia Doyle finally free, so full strength upcoming now for the Huskies. Ground ball trying to get picked up now by the Falcons. So we'll roll out, and they'll say that'll go to the Huskies.
A lot of back and forth possessions here. We really want to see each team capitalize off of the opportunities that they get.
Falcons now playing on their own side, trying to move it up a little bit more. Still 5-1 here for the Wolves, or for the Huskies, apologies.
Yeah, it is. It's not Chandler High School, it's a community team. For Chandler High School is the Wolves.
Always get a little confused. I went to GPS, you know, I was around the Wolves, played against them my high school career. I have to focus back a little bit, so apologies to the Huskies fans. Here's a good run on the inside, a good check, and it looks like a check to the head. Yellow card will be awarded, and free position obviously on the way. Hopefully everybody is okay as well. I believe that was Cactus Shadows. Number 53, Reese Spencer, who is not the ideal player to have at the free position line.
Defense certainly needing to make sure that they're crashing body to the actual player, because you put those sticks in front of their face. If they do run through those sticks, which they are completely entitled to do, you could just see that check to the head happen.
Here's Spencer with a bounce shot. Bounces a little bit too high, a little too much on that one. But nonetheless, ball will still be awarded to the Falcons. And again, the second yellow card to be awarded to on this Husky squad. So got to be wary. 2 players in the danger zone.
Cactus Shadows needs to get a goal with this man-up opportunity. This is their chance to get back in this game, trailing by 4.
Good pass on the inside. Reese Spencer tried to let one fly. Ground ball poked away. Still coming up with it nonetheless is the Falcons.
Chandler doing a good job stopping Reese Spencer from getting a good opportunity there.
Speaking of Reese Spencer, she spin moves, went for the bounce shot, poked away. Shadow still has it, so a couple of shots on goals, but the saves have been in the favor of the Huskies. One-on-one opportunity there with the defenseman, not able to take opportunities like that is Regan Wright.
Just a little bit of a lack of connection there on the feed inside, but certainly a good look. As long as Cactus Shadows keeps trying to take these opportunities, one of them's going to stick, especially if they continue to recover the ball after them.
That was a good job facilitating some pressure. This one will roll out of bounds, but Falcons still have possession with it. But again, good goalkeeper play so far from Issy Keys O'Sullivan. She's done a great job not just surveying the field, but reading some of the free positioning shots that have gone in favor of the Falcons and really just put a stop to any offensive movement. So Shadows now trying to take their time with it. Falcons working behind X again, trying to get some of those cutters on the inside. Good defense again by the Huskies. Fans also agreeing. Another good pass on the inside, letting one rip just over the top of the bar. I mean, surely one of those has to go in. If you just keep shooting, good things are going to happen.
Absolutely. The thing really going in Chandler's favor right now is their ability to get their hands on the hands of the shooter. As long as they're able to jam those hands up, it makes it so much harder for the shooter to actually pull through, and oftentimes you'll see a lot of these shots go high because of it.
So with a quick timeout call, we'll take a timeout here too on South Mountain Lacrosse. Well, exactly. It's basically it's so like it trips me out every time I see them. It's the Huskies. Go, Kev! Good job, Kevin! So we'll be back to the action here in the second quarter. The first half coming to a close here in about 3 minutes. Currently the Huskies lead 5-1. Cactus Shadows down by 4. Needing a lot to happen here. It took about 6 or 7 shots in a row and nothing could fall, so possibly looking to get one to go now for them. Trying to cut back on that 4-goal deficit.
Yeah, we'll see what they drew up off that timeout. Being surrounded, and that's a great check there by Chandler.
Good defense, trying to go coast to coast with it now. This one poked away. Shadows still fighting for it. Ground ball. Now picked up again by Chandler. A lot of fight in this team. So good passing now.
Looks like they're going to set up a play here on their offensive end, or at least some kind of motion where they're going to find some kind of opportunity. They're definitely moving that ball around to try to get into their initiation of whatever's going to happen coming off of this.
Agreed. The Huskies trying to play a little bit conservatively now too, about 90 seconds left to go, and The Huskies doing a great job early on. Trying to capitalize here. Shot goes just over the top of the bin. Rolling away.
This is certainly their time to control the pace of the game. They don't need to rush it. They need to maintain their composure and just find the opportunities that are going to be as close to 100% as possible.
And here's a shot. A little bit of a spin move. Fires sidearm into the top right corner. Number 31, Victoria Chen. Her 9th of the season, first of the postseason.
Goal by number 31.
What a great shot by Victoria Chen, just turning around and firing it straight into the net. And how about the Chandler Huskies?
I mean, you could not have placed that any better in the top right part of the net. I mean, just pinpoint precision. Taking a look at the replay again, I mean, just an amazing pass from the top of the fan. Rolled inside the 8-meter, found the opening, took advantage, and the Huskies are up by 5. But the last time that the Huskies were up by 5, Cactus Shadows found a way, so we'll see if they are able to do it again.
Definitely a lot of hustle in this Cactus Shadows team as they race in.
Cut on the inside, bounce shot goes just wide.
1 minute.
Almost got one back, just couldn't quite get that shot on target.
The best thing for Cactus Shadows to do right now, try to get a goal before half, establish some sort of momentum rolling into the second half. She's going to move on the inside, just no cutters there. And a hard fall. Ground ball picked up by the Huskies. So they'll now go on the counter.
Short on time here as they move on to their offensive end. Just about 20 seconds on the clock. Looks like we're going to see a check. Cactus Shadows able to come up nice and clean with that, but turning it back over.
Scary position here. The pass goes wide with 10 seconds left to go. That'll just roll out and time will be set to expire here. And with the final second coming to a close, the first half will come to a close. So the Huskies currently lead 6 to the Shadows 1. Guys, what more would you like to see out of these teams coming out of the break?
Pick up food and beverages that are available.
Well, Chandler has come to play. They're showing why they've won the last 2 state championships. Just taking advantage of all their chances, playing great on the defensive end as well. The 6-1 lead also helps that they're playing in their home city, so a bit of a home field advantage for them being just a few miles away from where they play. But Chandler with a 5-goal lead, and Cactus Shadows is going to have some work to do in that second half.
Absolutely. I think that part of the things that Cactus Shadow needs to do is just continue shooting. You can't get discouraged by these shots that you haven't been able to make land, but you've certainly had the amount of opportunities that you need. If they're able to clean up their draw controls so that they can get a little bit more of a possession advantage there, they certainly will have more opportunities to take those shots, and they will continue to land if they continue to have the opportunity to make them. So they definitely should continue pushing at that intensity. Chandler's doing a great job of controlling the pace of the game. They really have capitalized on every opportunity that they've decided to hit on the inside of the 8 and have taken their time doing so, giving them even more of an advantage when it comes to the time on the clock.
Agreed. With that intermission for halftime officially on its way, we will take a quick break as well on South Mountain Lacrosse. We still have a full half of action left to go in the final postseason of tonight between the Chandler squad and how can you forget too about Cactus Shadows. We will be right back after this.
And welcome back here from Seton Catholic Prep in Chandler, where the hometown kids are putting on a show. 6-1, the Chandler Huskies lead the Cactus Shadows Falcons in this girls lacrosse quarterfinal game. Winner will play the number 2 seed Chaparral Firebirds. And it is Cactus Shadows, or Chandler, excuse me, who will have the first possession of the second half.
Once again, really controlling the pace of the game here, taking their time, moving the ball. Got to maintain moving their feet as well to make sure those passes don't get picked off. We already know Cactus Shadows will certainly jump at the opportunity.
Chandler scoops up the ground ball and keeps the possession going. It's Victoria Chen with it now. Taking it inside the fan. Now we'll take it back outside the fan. Pass into the 8-meter is on the ground, but scooped by Chandler once again. Kenzie Amari with the ball now. Towards the crease. And trying to flip that one in, but dealt with by Lewis.
Really nice clears coming out by Lewis here. Able to really ping that ball to the next person upfield and get a nice leading pass out to them, fueling these fast breaks during transition.
So now Cactus Shadows with its first possession of the half. We'll see what the Falcons have in store.
Yeah, we just had the opportunity to talk to head coach Gary Neft. He said too, it's some of the small mistakes.
And just like that, the Falcons are on the board in this half.
Cactus Shadows.
On their first possession, they get one, so the
Goal
Falcons
by number 15, Kenzie
start how they wanted. Kenzie
So,
Coleman gets the goal.
So no small mistakes here to start off the half. Head coach Gary Neft was saying earlier too that it was some of the miscues, the errant passes that have really been the difference maker in playing on defense. They needed to tighten things up a little bit more. They were able to do so, go coast to coast, grab the goal, and who knows, maybe a 5-goal comeback is in the cards again for Cactus Shadows, because they're off already to a great start in this third quarter.
Yes, if I'm Cactus Shadows here, knowing that Chandler already has 2 yellow cards, they only need 2 more to end up playing against a man-down Chandler for the rest of the game. So if I'm Cactus Shadows, I'm really looking at driving in hard to the 8-meter, potentially drawing any of those penalties that we might be able to get, and keeping this game really competitive on their offensive end.
Well, they've just won the draw, so they have a chance to get another one.
When we had the opportunity to talk to Ellie King, the head coach for the Huskies, and obviously asked her a little bit about, you know, the comeback that Cactus Shadows had against them just a couple weeks prior, and she said the goal is to just keep scoring. The more and more you make that lead out of the hands for Cactus Shadows, the more likely you are going to win, and obviously that's going to be something Ellie King preaches moving forward in this game, especially too, she said the vibes were high, everybody was excited, the whole team was dancing even too at halftime, so we'll see if the Huskies are able to keep up their pace of play, and we'll also get to see too what's in store for Cactus Shadows, see if they can mount that 5-goal comeback once again.
They'll keep that offense going. Taking it inside the 8-meter.
Certainly
Circling
continuing to
behind the
drive
net.
hard here. I really like seeing Cactus Shadows push the pace on the offensive end and get those opportunities inside the 8-meter.
A lot of good defense too by the Huskies, trying to make sure that the cutters don't get an open lane.
Definitely playing really good body defense here, keeping their hands on the other players' hands and hips, making sure that they're ushering them right out of the 8-meter and not giving their hands free so they can take those shots on cage.
Another foul, that will be ordered right back to Shadows.
So they keep the ball, the Falcons, trailing 6-2. They've already scored once in this half, going down. No whistle. We got a ground ball, it's up in the air, and now we do have a foul, as a Cactus Shadows player is on the ground.
Hopefully everything's okay. Everybody will drop to a knee. We'll have the trainers come out. We'll take a quick break, too, as this gets assessed. We'll be right back on South Mountain Lacrosse.
How about a hand for number 9, Reagan Wolfenden. Goal, Cactus Shadows. Goal by number 53, Reese Spencer.
That's big for the Falcons for their star player to get on the board.
Up after their first half, where it seems like when they did have opportunities such as that, they were not able to actually capitalize on it. Definitely flipping the switch here in the third quarter and keeping their eye on the prize, finding the back of the net with that ball.
A little bit of a scoreboard issue there. Looks like 3-2 is the score, 36-2 now.
Looks like we're hearing some glitches are happening. Team's definitely confused as to what's going on, but definitely don't like a 36-2 lead.
6-3 is back to where we want to deeply apologize to the scoreboard announcer up there.
So it
certainly
is
a different venue from last year. It's always nice to work out any of the kinks,
especially too early on in the postseason. And a fall. Shadows will have it.
By Cactus Shadows. Williams passes it into the middle. That's Woolham. Woolham's still with it. And she gets checked. And Chandler gets the takeaway.
We're going to see a shooting space call right there. Super fortunate for Cactus Shadows. Able to have another go. They're going to put her on the second inside hash on the far side there. And she's going to have a really nice angle, especially as a righty, moving over towards that right side.
She's got a chance there and scores. So how about the Falcons? 3 goals and they go from trailing 6-1 to now 6-4.
Number 95.
And of course, taking full opportunity. Cactus Shadows. Oh my goodness. 3 consecutive goals. Chandler still looking for their first of the third, and obviously being the head coach over there for the Huskies is going to take a quick timeout to try to figure out the right scheme you want to run to make sure that Shadows doesn't get themselves back in this.
I can definitely see the talk focused on the end of the Huskies right now on really clean defense, making sure that they're not giving them any easy opportunities to get a shot off the 8-meter.
So with that timeout, we'll take a quick break as well. We'll be right back.
So we take a break after every timeout?
I like how the screen came out so half the audience could hear.
I was just messing around with the It's always how it is.
Hey, did you do the rush now?
Not for the female team. Yeah, I got it. So every time there's a timeout, we
No, we do a rush now.
that's usually just how it works. Mostly because there's no, unless it's like rain.
You guys are on in 5.
And welcome back here to Seton Catholic Prep for the AGLA quarterfinal, the second of 2 here tonight. And Chandler, the 6 seed, leads Cactus Shadows, the 3 seed, 6-4. But it was 6-1 at halftime, so the Falcons on a comeback trail here. They have outscored the Huskies 3-0 in the third quarter.
We're going to have an early entry there. Means that Chandler's going to have an opportunity to come right off this draw. That just means that one of the players on Cactus Shadows entered over the restraining line before there was possession made coming off the draw.
I also want to give a quick shout out to the referees too. It's an all-female officiating crew tonight with Sophie Bucknell as well as Devin Martin and Lorani Peasy. So shout them out, as well as Come On Ref, which we shouted out earlier on too back in the first game, but always good to say it again.
Yeah, it's what we all say at some point.
Always, you either think it, you say it, depends if you're a fan or a player. But shout out to the officiating crew nonetheless, they do their best.
Absolutely. Certainly hard to be in that position where you're calling the game, and you certainly need to have thick skin as you work with these teenage ladies on their sportsmanship as well as their gameplay.
So it is Chandler with the ball now. The Huskies have given up the last 3 goals. See what they can do on this possession here.
The Huskies still scoreless too in this third.
Got a chance there, and there they get one. Nora Whittington, their star player, their leading goal scorer with 35 of them in the regular season, her second tonight, and Chandler is back up by 3.
I mean, that's an announcer's jinx if I've ever saw one. I mean, the Huskies score almost immediately after the statement was made, and they still continue to make this a statement right now, 7-4 over Cactus Shadows.
Definitely cannot sleep on their defensive end. Cactus Shadows over there, seeing that defensive player get backdoored pretty easily, and with that nice long reach, she was able to grab that ball and put it in the back of the net.
Cactus Shadows too, especially wanting to win this draw, trying to make sure they keep the momentum going their way offensively.
5:20 to go and a big goal for the Huskies. And we'll see what happens off this draw. It's on the ground and rolling out of bounds. We'll see who touched it last. It's going to be going to Cactus Shadows. And now they'll get to their offense. They got Reese Spencer. Now she passes to her left. Sending that one into the middle, right on front of goal.
Oh,
So the Falcons immediately off the draw
by number 8.
score,
Sylvia
and it's Sylvia Harding, the junior midfielder, putting that one in the back of the net.
See, too, Cactus Shadows extremely happy with that one, especially taking a look over there on the bench. Gary Naft was ecstatic after that one. And again, outscoring the Huskies in this quarter. It's 4-1, or 4-1 when it comes to goals in the third for Cactus Shadows. So they're really doing a great job at facilitating the pace of play coming out of the half, and they have just put on an absolute clinic so far in this third quarter.
Definitely seen a much better performance here on the draw and being able to start with that possession, especially coupled with their quick transitions and their ability to connect their passes as they move on to their offensive end. They have been able to capitalize inside the 8-meter.
This is seeming like deja vu from when these teams met in the regular season just down the road at Chuparosa Park, where Chandler had a lead. Cactus Shadows came back and won.
We're seeing a third yellow card here for Chandler, a check to their head. Once again, if we're seeing one more yellow card, they're going to be playing the game man down, and that will certainly not help them retain their lead that they have right now.
And Nora Whittington given the yellow.
Yeah,
That's not who Chandler wants to be out of the game.
We had our first come on ref of the game. A free sponsorship shout out for all the parents who are saying it in the crowd, at least.
Definitely.
Some good exposure.
Yeah, some good exposure for the reffing company, absolutely.
And there's a steal. Big takeaway by Chandler. And they'll be able to take some time with their best player off the field.
I was going to say it earlier as well. I mean, if there is a man to ignite a spark underneath the team, it's Gary Neff, especially too after what he was able to do against Chandler just a few weeks back. And seriously, Cactus Shadows has found themselves back in this one after just a phenomenal third quarter.
Cactus Shadows playing in a backer here, enabling that player on ball to really press out. That backer providing the insurance that if that girl does drive around that first defender, she will be able to be picked up by that second one.
Jellum on the back line being pressed hard.
Got to make sure you still don't foul in this situation, though. You don't want to be pushing to the back or the front in any way. You want to make sure that you're maintaining that really nice, clean pressure, causing them to step out of bounds or throw an errant pass.
Huge advantage, too, right now for Shadows, being a man up, really trying to just get this back and try to go for a possibly fast break opportunity or just a huge counterattack to get back as they're still down by 2.
Yeah, something they certainly could do is pressure those adjacent players as well to make sure that there's not an easy pass adjacent to them, making it a lot harder for those players who have to rush out to ball and pressure out hard.
Down to 3 minutes left in the third. Chandler's lead has shrunk from 5 to 2. Currently a 7-5 lead for the Huskies.
A hard fall. Everything seems to be okay, but a foul will be called. Also, too, Kiara Whittington will go back in following the 2-minute yellow card.
Cactus Shadows going to have to adjust here and make sure that they can move out of that high-pressure defense and play some really solid man right now.
Transitioning is going to be huge for Shadows right now.
Whittington with the ball just onto the field. Whittington will pass it off.
You can certainly hear the communication on this defensive end all the way from the stands. That's something that's going to be incredibly important. Not just that the players are calling out what's going on, but that they're listening to those players next to them.
Oh, and a poke away.
And picked up by Cactus Shadows. Chandler was looking for a foul there, no call.
That was huge. Ground ball. Finally given back. See what Shadows can do.
Here comes Abigail Woolham. Looking for some help. Got checked. And
Definitely a lot of
We
feelings here in the stands. And I think that's something that's really hard to call here, especially when you have a player fall, is that they do put their arms out to brace themselves, as you would naturally do, and that does end up extending your stick out, leaving you vulnerable to a check. So not only could it look from the stands as if you were pushed down, but also that you were pushed down and checked. So I can definitely understand their frustration, but would definitely be difficult to call from the stands versus right there on the field as the refs are.
So a good free position shot at the top of the fan, but Shadows going to try to work patiently with the final minute.
1 minute remaining in the
see what
quarter.
they can do in the
1
final
minute.
minute. Taking it inside the 8-meter. And now back towards the crease, trying to get it into the middle there. It's on the ground. Can Chandler send it out? Cactus Shadows keeps the ball. Down to 40 seconds in the third. Falcons trying to get within 1 going into the fourth. And what a big confidence boost that would be if they can find the net here. And they might just do it! And they do! So the Falcons get one in the final minute. With 30 seconds to go, the Falcons are within 1. And Reese Spencer with her second.
So that is number 60 for Reese Spencer. Her 60th goal of the season, her second in the postseason, and Cactus Shadows makes it a 6-7 ball game.
Yeah, 6-7.
Certainly a good amount of time left on the clock, 30 seconds. That does give them the opportunity to get this ball off of the draw and move quickly onto their offensive end and score, as we have seen them already do in this game. Definitely a pivotal draw here going into the very last few seconds of the third quarter.
So a 5-1 outscoring clinic for Cactus Shadows in this quarter. Looks like we'll have a redo of the draw as well, and a draw win here for Cactus Shadows could potentially even things up with just 30 seconds left in this third.
Yeah, that would be a great opportunity for them. Had a chance off the ground ball, picked up by Chandler though. We'll see if the Huskies will try and push for one final chance. Mia Doyle running down the sideline. We'll pass it up ahead to Jellum. And it looks like they're going to try and score. Jellum circling the crease with 8 seconds. What's Jellum going to do? Got to get something on net in the final 3 seconds. And they're not going to be able to get anything off. So Chandler,
The third quarter of play.
maybe not knowing exactly how much time was left, they didn't get anything on net.
Yeah,
But that'll take us into the fourth quarter. We'll be right back here on South Mountain Lacrosse.
And all those supporting the event.
Thank you for your cooperation.
I didn't know if you were asking me to stay on or not.
Oh, sorry. I was just looking up at you like because of the score.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they're getting upset because it's what happened before. It's exactly what happened.
I put my 2 cents in.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm like,
So I guess it goes to overtime.
Well, welcome back to what might be the most exciting game of the postseason. Currently, the Cactus Shadows down by 1. A team that was down by about 6 earlier. And so far, they have mounted an incredible comeback up to this point. It's not just complete, but they're 1 away. Huskies will win the opening draw. However, 6-7 is the score here in the final quarter if you're just joining us. Currently, the Huskies trying to avoid what happened just 2 weeks ago where Cactus Shadows mounted one of the more incredible comebacks in the regular season.
They got possession here. This is a big opportunity for them to get a goal and get some momentum back on their side.
+2 was about a 5-1 total third quarter when it came to goals, all in favor of Cactus Shadows besides the one. And the defense is really tightened up. We saw Grant Neft earlier too talk about how he wants this team to just stay composed. And here's a shot on goal, firing away is Whittington. She found the back of the net. And the Huskies extend the lead to 2. We'll see if they can try to hold on now in the final 11 minutes of this one.
Absolutely massive goal to start this quarter for Chandler, who had let Cactus Shadows get to within 1, and that's a hat trick for Nora Whittington.
Certainly kills some of that momentum for Cactus Shadows, but definitely not a position they haven't been in before against this team. So with this only 2-goal deficit here, every single draw is going to be pivotal, and every possession they're going to have to capitalize on, like we just saw the Huskies do.
We'll see as the draw following the goal is on its way again. Cactus Shadows, the Falcons down by 2. We'll see who comes out the apex predator from tonight's matchup, the Falcons, or is it going to wind up being the Huskies? Good movement again by Cactus Shadows, again just trying to get one back. If they do so, that 1-goal deficit comes right back to them, and possibly they could tie it up.
The 1 goal that Chandler got in the third quarter, Cactus Shadows scored in response just a few seconds later.
And the momentum still definitely there for Cactus Shadows. Just need to get something going. Here's a cut inside. Good block there by the goalkeeper. The Huskies not able to walk away with it. Looks like we'll have a quick injury timeout inside the 8-meter.
Injury timeout.
Kenzie Coleman is down for Cactus Shadows.
Everybody will take a knee. She'll come up real quick. Looks like everything's okay. Trainer will come take a look real fast. Again, just a very physical defensive play there. Everybody will get back to their feet. I believe ball is still in Cactus Shadows' hands, so we'll see what they can make of it.
Yeah, Cactus Shadows still with the ball. We'll see if they can get one back and keep the pressure on the Huskies.
So again, we'll see what's in the cards for the Shadows. Most recent goal by Whittington for the Huskies. Shadows, no free positioning shot, so they'll wound up passing it around. The fan in right behind X they go. And a quick sub for Cactus Shadows.
Kenzie Coleman coming back into the game after going down there for a bit.
Good movement all the way around the top of the fan right now by the Falcons. It's one of the first times in a while we've seen them really try to take their time. There's a little bit of a errant shot that almost found the back of the net, but it gets poked away. Cactus Shadows takes the ground ball right back, trying to catch the Huskies out of positioning.
We're going to see a check across the body there. Whenever you're on the opposite side of the person's body as their stick, you cannot check across them to get to their stick. You've got to make sure that you are going to initiate that check from the same side that the stick is on.
It seems like every time, too, that the Falcons have had a free positioning shot, they've capitalized off it. So we'll see if they can build something up right now. About 9:05 left on the clock. The Huskies will take it right back.
Yeah, Cactus Shadows showing some impatience here on their offensive set, not being picky about the decisions that they're making there.
Coast to coast, a good block. Oh my goodness!
What a save!
What a save there!
Phenomenal top shelf save. Really hard to make that happen.
Going coast to coast, 3-on-2 situation. We'll see what Cactus can make of it. 1-on-1 shot fires just wide. Oh!
That was a great chance for Cactus Shadows off the save they had. 3-on-2, just couldn't put it on net.
And probably one of the best looks from tonight. But again, Cactus Shadows will hold on to possession, so we'll see if they can try to capitalize again. And just a great job countering, getting back into the Huskies' own zone.
That's a chance that the Falcons might want back at the end of the game if they can't come back and win this one.
8-6 is the score. 8 minutes left to go. Huskies currently up by 2. We'll see if the Falcons can try to do something here. There's a good cut on the inside. Oh, on skates, a juke. Backing pass. Now this ball will go free. It's a ground ball trying to get recovered. Cactus tries to just go for it. A good high pass. All for naught. Here's another errant pass, but it works out in favor of the Huskies. They'll try to go coast to coast with it now. Former player who did it last time was Mia Doyle. We'll see if she can capitalize with numbers. She'll try to slow things down, actually, instead.
Certainly a good opportunity to slow things down. You're still up by 2, and you need to remember that as you have around 7 minutes left on the clock. You can kill as much time here as possible while still looking for a really nice opportunity. There's just no pressure to take any shot that's available. You really can be picky about what you're selecting.
And Chandler wanting to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Here's a good spin move on the inside, ripping and firing away as the Huskies. They're outscoring in the fourth, 2-0, and make it a 9-6 ball game in favor of the 2-time state champs.
Goal line number 3, Lily Durkee.
Really nice roll there. Lily recognizing that goalie's off her pipe and she's not being as guarded as closely as they really need to. Able to sneak it past right there on the goal line extended.
I'll take a quick look again at the instant replay. A good pass from behind X. Realizes that the defenseman was getting taken away, decided to roll in. A great job finding the top left pocket with an overhand shot, capitalizing on the play, and the Huskies take a 3-goal lead. But again, I feel like almost no lead is safe at this point, especially with the way that the Falcons have been playing. The Huskies, however, in comfortable territory, but can't get too comfortable once again.
Yes, everyone definitely needs to capitalize here on these draw controls as the Huskies just have. You've got to maintain your possession here and make sure that you're taking care of the ball.
Poked away. Reese did a good job taking that one away. The pass goes wide. Taken away again by the Huskies. Whittington in control.
The Huskies really lucky there that they're able to get that possession back.
Could have been a scary spot there for the Huskies. Chandler, apologies, Cactus Shadows would have had the numbers. 6 minutes left to go. The winner of this again will advance to play Chaparral. Winners in the last one have already advanced, and that was Xavier, and they'll move on to face Desert Vista, the undefeated squad, the top seed in the bracket.
Yeah, Desert Vista and Chaparral are going to be two really tough teams to beat for whoever's facing off against them.
Good
That's
pass.
what Chandler, if they can hold on, will be faced with doing.
Here's the Huskies again! Almost the exact same play! Finding the advantage in numbers. The Huskies capitalize once more. Number 3, Lily Durkee.
Back-to-back
So
goals by Durgan. As you were saying, that was the exact same setup. She just went from behind the net and went back in front and just turned around, fired, and scored. And Chandler goes up by 4. And will that be the goal that puts it out of reach?
Lily has tons of experience playing there at X. She's really been able to refine her craft there, and with only one person to beat, having Cactus Shadows so extended on defense trying to pressure out, it really is something that she's seen so many times before and has been able to capitalize on time and time again.
So double-digit goals now for the Huskies. 10-6 is the score. The deficit grows larger to 4 for the Cactus Shadows squad. We'll see if they can try to capitalize. So, however, less than 6 minutes remaining. Cactus Shadows trying to move over to Chandler's restraining line. Hard check foul upcoming. Cactus Shadows still in control. Falcons moving up with it.
Yellow card has been issued.
We're going to see that 4th yellow card here for Chandler.
Kenzie Emery, 2 minutes.
It looks like we should be moving into that man-down territory for Chandler for the remainder of the game.
And that'll provide Cactus Shadows the opportunity that they need to try and score 4 in the last 5.5 minutes.
Cactus Shadows needing to be really diligent about what they do here. As we saw when they've had man-up opportunities earlier in this matchup, they were not really able to capitalize off of them, clogging up the 8-meter by having all of those open players or perceived open players cut into the 8-meter at the same time, clogging it up and reducing their opportunities.
What a quarter it's been, though, for Chandler. They let Cactus Shadows get to within 1 going into it, but they've scored 3 and have kept Cactus Shadows off the board up to this point in the 4th.
Here's Reese Spencer with it. Good pass on the inside. Cactus Shadows almost had this one poked away. Another good pass behind X. We'll see if Shadows can make the most of this being a man up. Again, 5 minutes remaining, down by 4. In the postseason, anything can happen. There's a good pass on the inside. Ripping, firing, foul in the back of the net! Reese Spencer!
Cactus Shadows.
Cactus Shadows making it a 3-goal deficit.
53. Reese
So that's going to make it a hat trick for Reese Spencer, and Cactus Shadows gets the goal that they need. Still need 3 more.
And that's number 61 of the season, 3rd in the postseason alone, 3rd in just tonight's game. Quick timeout called, but a good job by the Shadows to possibly gain back some momentum. Only 3 out in less than 5 minutes. 3 and 5 is possible. The San Francisco Giants did it in 2010, so we'll see if the Shadows can do it here in just 5 minutes. With the timeout, we will be right back for the final 5 minutes of the first round of the postseason.
San Francisco country. I'm a Giants fan. 3 and 5. That's what we always say. Dodgers fans.
Welcome back, everybody, to South Mountain Lacrosse. Currently, we're in the final quarter of the first round of the postseason between Cactus Shadows and the Chandler Huskies. The Huskies leading 10-7, 4 minutes and 49 left on the clock. The most recent goal by Cactus Shadows. And now looking to just snag 3 and 5 to send this thing into postseason. Really, that's all it takes. And now to Cactus Shadows playing a man up due to the 4 separate yellow cards awarded to the Huskies. And the draw win goes in favor of the Shadows. The Falcons. Errant pass.
Oh.
Oh, it just went out. What a valiant effort, though, by Cactus Shadows to try to keep that in. Huskies trying to move up with it now, running on the near side. Little pass goes to Whittington. See what the Huskies can do. Yeah, no shot clock, so no need to really do too much here if you're the Huskies. Especially holding on to that 3-goal lead.
Yeah, Cactus Shadows is going to have to lock off the adjacents here and make sure that they are getting that really nice backer defense in, where they are putting as much pressure as possible on the ball carrier. Because at some point that ball carrier will get tired and will really struggle to continue to move that ball as long as you're maintaining that consistent pressure.
C2 Huskies just kind of playing back with it a little bit. 3 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. And a 3-goal lead here for the Huskies. They hold on, they'll advance to the next round against Chaparral.
Just playing keep away right now. Up by 3 in the final 3.5 minutes.
And this very well could be what the remainder of the game looks like here for both of these teams. The Huskies really trying to just play keep away, because if they do end up even trying to make an attempt on this goal, even if they make it in, it does go back to that draw control and gives Cactus Shadows a chance to run up the score if they're winning the subsequent draws that follow.
Gotta expect Shadows to start playing a little bit more up too, trying to add some pressure with just 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, they gotta do whatever they can to force a turnover.
Wouldn't be a bad idea to send a hard double out there and see if you can get this ball carrier to try to rush some of those passes to whatever player they perceive as open, so you can jump them and or get them to make an errant pass.
Yeah, you can hear people too trying to say double the ball. An opportunity to crash inside. Bounce shot recovered, however, by Cactus Shadows. 2 minutes left to go. We'll see if they can do it here. Currently, they have a 4-on-3 situation if they keep storming. Reese currently in control of it, the top goal scorer for this Cactus Shadow squad. She moves up with a good pass on the inside. Left one fired. Bounce shot. Good save, however, by the Huskies. They'll try to hold on here now with less than 2 to go.
The goalies certainly holding together this last couple minutes of play.
That feels like it could have been the biggest save of the night. Hard foul over here on the right side. Yellow card awarded to a Cactus Shadows player.
Dangerous play has been called and a yellow card issued against number 9, Reagan Wolfenden from Cactus Shadows.
So now Cactus Shadow's going to be a man down the rest of the way.
So we're 2 minutes away from possibly seeing the first upset of the postseason. Of course, Chandler being the 6th seed compared to Cactus Shadows being that 3. But again, the 6th seed not really the full, doesn't really give the full story on this Chandler squad. Again, back-to-back state champs for a reason. So the Huskies hold on here. Less than 2 to go. Shadows needing some big plays to try to avoid a first-round exit. They've worked so hard this year to get up to this point. There's an open lane almost all the way.
Yeah, you really do not need to shoot this ball right now if you don't have to. You can keep it out. You can even pull it back behind your restraining line if need be, just to keep it away from the hot side of the field. Obviously, you don't want to get too close to your goal just in case some kind of turnover happens, but you can definitely use the whole field and make sure that that other team has to chase you as far as possible.
1 minute left to go in this one. The Huskies on the verge of moving on to the second round to face the 2 seed. Good passing back and forth from Whittington to Mia Doyle. Crash here on the inside of the Huskies. To add insult to injury, moving back over with it is Durkee, and she found it. That's a hat trick for three. Number 3 for number 3.
2 hat tricks now for Chandler, Whittington, and Durkee, each scoring 3. I didn't think they were going to actually try and shoot it in that situation, but they did. It ends up working out, and they're now up by 4, and I think it's safe to say this one's over.
With 36 seconds left to go, I would second that claim. Again, Cactus Shadows down by 4, less than a minute left to go. Shadows season possibly coming to an end. The Chandler Huskies again up by 4, looking to move on to the next round where they'll take on Chaparral, and it'll be an exciting semifinals to say the least between both squads.
Looks like the Shadows is missing another player on the circle. Typically you would move up one of your defensemen or bring down one of your attackmen to be on the circle during that draw control, and at least make sure that that scramble in the middle during the draw is an evenly played opportunity for possession.
Reese goes down in a heap, but Cactus Shadows needing to score a goal a second here to stay alive. And an errant pass will go wide. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, the final 5 counting down here in the first round of the postseason. The Chandler Huskies walk away with the win. So they hold on. They never lost the lead once they got it. Cactus Shadows tried their best to fight back. They were within 1 at one point, but they just couldn't keep the scoring alive. And the Huskies walk out with the win. The upset for the 6th seed, taking down the 3rd seed. Chaparral up next on the schedule. Will the back-to-back chance look for the three-peat? Or will they be stopped before they can even make it? What did you guys see in this one? Let's recap before we head off for tonight.
Well, it was really that first half for Chandler that was the difference in this game. They were up 6-1 at the break, and they held on the rest of the way. They let Cactus Shadows get within 1, but it was the second half and really that 4th quarter where they were able to hold on to that lead that let Chandler win this game here.
Yeah, really saw some nice pacing here by the Chandler Huskies, especially towards the second half of the game, where they were able to capitalize on their lead and make sure that they were utilizing as much time as possible. Doesn't always make for an exciting game, but certainly provides you that insurance so that by the end the score reflects how you want it to, such as tonight.
Exactly. We saw everything we could want and more in tonight's matchup. 11-7 is the final. The Huskies advance to take on Chaparral in the next matchup on Wednesday night. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us here in South Mountain Lacrosse. On behalf of Kai Genagabis, Jacob, and as well as
Campbell.
It was an exciting matchup here tonight. Thank you again so much for joining us, and we will see you on Wednesday with some more lacrosse playoff action.
What time is it? 2 to 6.